All right, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, beautiful people. How are you this glorious day? Mm. I have my Starbucks. Oh my God, they really made this dirty. I have my Starbucks, dirty chai. I'm gonna do a little skincare and let's talk new makeup releases. If you watch this in the replay, make sure you leave a comment, say hello. Would love to hear from you. If you wanna, say something about what's going on, would love to hear about that. And if and don't forget to open the live chat because that's where it gets popping. So I'm gonna start on my skincare. Good morning, Kim Lynn. I think you're new. I've never seen you before, I don't think. And if you are, good morning. Thank you for joining. You're early, so we're gonna see how many people come in. So I'm using these First Aid Beauty facial radiance pads because this is kind of like the quick, easy toner exfoliator kind of vibe. I only use this in the morning though. I have a serious glycolic. Hi, Diana Jordan. How are you? We're going to see if people get their notifications, how many people actually show up for the live this morning because I did not schedule this. I decided to do this on my way home. If you go on my way home from where, I take my daughter to work on Sunday mornings. I'm wondering why I'm looking a little crazy. Hold on, let's turn on some lights. Let's get y'all some lights going. Let's get some lights going. Boom, I'm here now. I was like, why am I in such shadows? Why am I in shadows? So we put that on. I'm going to let that dry down. I'm going to let that dry down. I'm going to see how many people actually show up because maybe no one wants to talk to me today. Maybe people are asleep. Maybe they're living their best lives. Who knows? So anyway, we did that. Let's do a little eye cream. I'm trying out this Dr. Brandt 2%. This is so wrong. I was about to put the wrong thing on. This 24/7 retinol eye cream with ruby crystal complex. Now, do we really need all that? Do we, I think sometimes they say stuff like that just to make us go, oh, yes, ruby crystals. That's it. It's going to do the trick. Now, I don't know how well this works. I just started using it. It's a little watery, much more thinner. It's thinner than the Sulwhasoo one I was trying out, which I love, but which is not my budget friendly. So we're going to put it on. I tend to put way too much on. I'm not even going to lie. I tend to put way too much eye cream on. But you know what? More is better than not enough. Because I'm trying to get rid of some stuff on these eyes. I don't know about the rest of y'all. But I'm trying to get my eyes in order. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now, Miss Diana, you do know that I have a terrible mouth. So be aware that I do curse. So if that offends you, I'm just letting you know up front. You might be offended. Hey, Shell. Hello, hello. So I'm actually putting more eye cream. I'm moving it down because I've always concentrated on my wrinkles. But it's like, girl, you got some bags too now, child. Don't be playing with yourself. You got bags. So I'm doing it all around the orbital bone. And then tapping it in. You know, this whole, oh, let's tap it in. Okay, well, see, I don't know. Sometimes people get on here and they get confused and they wanna govern me. You'd be so much. You need to stop cursing. You need to stop watching. That's what you need to do. I'm just saying, folks. I always want to tell you what to do with yourself. Pay attention to who you are, not who I is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got to say on that conversation. Because people really do want to govern you and how you talk, and especially when you do things like this. It's so interesting to me how people feel like because you're on YouTube or because you're on Facebook or whatever social media you're using, they gotta guard your mouth, right? When you're on social media of any type, and it doesn't matter if you're doing something like this or whatever, where people feel the need to govern you, to tell you things like, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. Yes, sometimes people shouldn't say some things because some things, hi, it's Miss V World. Some things should be left to, but that's your choice. And I finally got to that point when it comes to social media that I'll be like, whatever. It's like, girl, be whatever. But people want to govern you. I mean, I have had people inbox me on Facebook, girl, watch, you shouldn't be saying that. Or watch them. Girl, you need to go on and leave me the fuck alone. That's what you need to do. And so that's what's so interesting, because the reality is like a lot of times these people never say, especially virtual strangers. You understand the people who know you kind of personally, family, friends, they feel the need like, oh, let me tell you about yourself. And then I just always go, oh, you know who the fuck I am. But the virtual strangers who then want to like tell you things about you, you need to watch your mouth. You need to be like this, you're fat, you're this, you're the other. And in real life, they would never have the nerve to say that to somebody like me or most people. But it's like, like they say, the keyboard gangsters is real. And that's why, that's why people need to understand that and not let these people bother them. Because these are keyboard gangsters. People like, oh, it hurt my feelings. Why? Why should somebody who's that you don't even know can hurt your feelings? You give people give too many people too much power. I don't want to give the people I know power. I damn straight ain't giving no power to somebody, a stranger. The people I know ain't got no power over me, so you damn straight ain't got no power over me. The only power you have over me is whether you view me or not on this platform, and that's your choice too. I don't care. Baby, social media makes people bold, bad, and dangerous. All three of those. Because they get real bold, and then they get real bad, and then they want to act dangerous. You know what? I'm going to need y'all to dial it back. Dial it back, dial it back, dial it back. Yeah. So, and they just be feeling like they could just talk to you anyway. They can say anything to you. But if they saw you on the streets, and I'm not that person anymore. I'm 52. I ain't got time to be out here cussing and fussing with folks. But best believe, if you came at me that way, you might get an earful. And I'll square up because I'm crazy. Just being honest. I am not that person. I ain't out here trying to fight. But if you come at me wrong, I'm going to square up just like I'm like some crazy broad on the street. I am who I am. That's why I watch myself. But also, I think that so often people allow these things to bother them so much. I'm never, and then want to get all up in your face. And hi Jean. Right, and they will report you and things like that. And that's what's so sad, is that people will come, especially if you're doing things like this for your livelihood, you're trying to make money on it, then they get jealous and they want to get, I'm going to get rid of you because I can't stand you. It is insane, the things that people will do to people just to feel powerful. And that's why I always say, when the trolls come in, I understand you are very lonely, miserable, and you feel the need to bother a virtual stranger to make yourself feel better. I get it. I really do. So I'm going to give you that virtual hug you need, because obviously life ain't giving you what you need. So you need to come on here to feel some type of power. I don't need social media to feel powerful. I'm just, okay, girl, come on. I don't need that to feel powerful. I don't. I am trying out this Patchology, Daily Gel Moisturizer Aqua Flash. It's okay. It's all right. It's not like one of my favorite moisturizers. Look, I'm trying to remember to like push up underneath the chin. See, I'm not, and I have to get better. I'm so against blocking people, but I see I'm gonna have to, you know, I will start blocking them. Now, what I will not do is I will not delete their comments because I find them quite enjoyably funny. And then they get so mad at me because when they leave, I love comments. Leave a comment. If you don't like me, leave a comment. I love it. I'll laugh with you. I'll get the joke and everything. Call me a fat old hag. I don't care. I really don't. And I will laugh with you. And then they get mad. If you talk about me and I laugh, why are you mad? Because that's the funny part. Whenever I see something like that, all I do is put up laughing emojis because I think the shit is funny. And they get mad, they get angrier. It's like, see, this is why I say this is what people need to do when people come at them like this. Laugh at their asses. Cause, oh, really? That was a good one. Oh, that one last night. You saw that, Diana? That was, okay, let me say. Right, girl, thank you, Jean. You got bigger fish to fry than some troll talking crazy to you. Look, that just happened. I try to be a little more, diplomatic in my shit. But it was like, oh, let me just put you in your place. What you not gonna do is govern my black ass in my space. Not gonna do that. Because I try to be nice, and I have been nice to people. But, at some point you have to check people. I know it just came out. It just rolled out. Because that's the way I talk to people. Oh, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. Hey, my ass. You got me fucked up. You go tell me how you need to stop her. But let me tell you this. I was getting that kind of stuff in my comments, and for a while I did try to dial it back, and I did try to dial it back from my students when I found out students found me. But then I said, what did I say? Oh, she told me, I think you came in right after that, Jean. That was the lady who told me you need to stop cursing. And I told her, I said, you need to stop watching. Because I ain't gonna stop cursing. You got me fucked up. Basically, isn't that what I said, Ash? and Jean, I did this by accident. I know everybody saw the look on my face because I read and went, right. I thought you was in because you came in and like, I love the cursing. I was like, because you saw the look on my face, was like, okay, well, let me just handle this right quick. Hey. Okay, so we got this much on. So let's talk new releases. Y'all. So let's talk about the new releases, what's going on, and how much we gonna put on Afterpay. Cause bitch, yes, I'm gonna put some shit on. Right. Yeah, everybody was like, we come for the cursing. And it was like when I was trying to be the kinder, gentler Lou, it was like I was second guessing myself about content, about how I approached it, because I was so busy trying to be something that I was not fully. Not to say that I wasn't me, but I curse. Everybody knows that. I curse. My kids know that. I cursed at my kids. I told them, don't talk like your mama, but shut the fuck up. Now, I didn't say that out in public. But, my kids got to shut the fuck. STF, silent coyote, motherfucker. Silent coyote. Silent coyote. STFU. But, it's like, hi, Sarah. Right. Everybody started helping me out because you ain't gonna come on here and tell me how to do something like this If you don't like me, that's what I tell somebody, because somebody put in my comments, they didn't like what I said, so they were going to unsubscribe from you know, from YouTube, right? And I'm like, okay, well, enjoy. Well, thank you for letting me know, and I hope you find somebody that pleases you. Because the beauty of life is you should never do something that you don't like, especially for enjoyment. If this is something that's supposed to give you enjoyment, why the fuck would you watch me if you don't like me? That's why I don't understand people who watch people that you know, watch people. If you don't like what I have to say, that's fine. Go ahead, unsubscribe, never watch me again. I'm okay with that. I really am. I promise I don't. You know, there was a moment when I was like a little, you know, in my feelings about shit, but then I said, why the fuck are you in your feelings about? And exactly why the need to announce unsubbing. You know why they do that? And this is real. It's so they're hoping that because they're unsubbing, other people will go, yes, I'm going to unsub too. They're looking for validation. They're looking for somebody to say something. I said, well, peace be with you. Hope you find something you like. I don't care. I mean, and that's just being honest about it. And it's nothing about the fact that I don't like these, you know. I would love for you. I don't think so, Lily. The majority of people who tell me about cursing are older people. Really. But it's like, you just said this and you didn't. Okay. I'm not going to, and they're looking for you to, you know, backtrack on what you said and try to keep them by saying something. So therefore, you looking for me to lie to make you feel better. Fuck what you heard. You know, that's just honestly. People are always looking for someone to make them feel better. Listen, they need to, here's what they need to read. The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. The very first thing it says is life is hard. And and that is true. Life is hard. You have ups and downs, all these things, but ultimately life is about challenges and beating the challenges and, you know, living your life and not letting things beat you down. So therefore, it's gonna be everything ain't gonna be. So everybody, that's like y'all met on my Busted Bitchathon. Y'all met my girl Val. She's one of my really good friends. She is very religious. I try to govern my mouth around her because I love her and I know it unnerves her when I curse the way I do. So I dial it back for her because that's a personal connection. And when I do curse, it ain't like she's like, now Louise, she knows it's my mouth. And she knows that, you know, I try to, you know, play nice for her, but it ain't always gonna happen that way. Don't let me be mad because it ain't happening. Okay, so let's just talk about the first release that we want to talk about. And let's listen here. I'm getting this. I'm just letting y'all, we know this. Ash is gonna be on the same page with me. I'm getting this. Bitch. This is Norvina Volume 2. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know. I will have this. It will be mine. Now, rumor has it that there's going to be a Volume 3 coming out real soon, too. I'll probably get that one, too. Right, me and Ash have already discussed it. We will own this. It will be in our hot little hands. Right, okay. That's what them points are for. So if you have not gotten this one, Volume 1, with them talking about Volume 3 might be coming out, I would suggest wait until Black Friday because there'll probably be a bundle deal. You know, hi Sarah C. No, it's got no, it's not on mass. But it does have quite a few mattes, but it's got 1, 2, 3. It's more mattes to shimmers, which is, you know, I love that. You know, I love that vibe. So I will be getting this. Yes, I will be getting this. And not because I'm trying to be on the ABH train, get out stuff early, but because I want this bitch. You know, and that's what I will always tell you. If I if I go out and, you know, if I rush to get something, it's because I truly want it. Not because I'm trying to rush to get it for views, rush to do that. It's because it's like, bitch, you want this, bitch. You want this, bitch. So I want this one. And I will be getting her. So I'm just letting y'all know. That will be in my little, that'll be in my hot hands right soon. Now all the now this is some Mac and Pony, whoever this is. This is this Asian makeup artist, which, let me say this, and I know we don't always get this, but you have to understand the Asian market is huge. The Asian market is huge. So we as Americans have to understand that sometimes there are things that we don't quite get. And that's why these companies are doing it, because the Asian market is huge. Yes, we are where they make a lot of these products, but they make a hell of a lot of money over in the Asian countries, because they have a huge market. So this is this pony one right here. Now it's very pretty. Now, I gotta be honest with y'all, I just really am not this MAC person anymore. I think they're lovely. I really do think they're lovely. But, hey, I would never buy that damn thing. I got enough, no. And I like neutrals to a certain extent, but no. And so they're saying, oh, it's selling out, this, and the other. I'm not gonna buy a Prep and Prime because it has this pretty design on it. I got 3 bottles. Fuck you. No, I don't need any more. So even though I like the aesthetic of it, it's not like, oh my God, I have to have it. So if you are one of those collector types, for something like this, because I collect shit, no, don't get me wrong, but it just is like, oh, okay. Now they're saying it's supposedly, and it has crystals and tarot card illustrations, which we know I am into both things. If you don't know that, I am into tarot cards, I am into crystals, I am into astrology, I am into all of that. So yes, I'm one of those people. But I don't feel the need to buy. They lead the trends, but they also just buy a lot. You know, just being realistic, they buy a lot. Because when it comes down to certain things, especially when skincare, they do lead the trends. When it comes down to makeup, I wouldn't necessarily say they lead the trends because they have a different style. So we all know that the Asian beauty makeup style is a lot different than the American style. So, you know, like if you watch Jovita George, she does the things where she does the split face, where she'll do one culture versus another cultures. If you've never seen her watch, she hasn't been doing them in a while, but she used to have a series where she did the split face. Mr. Jovita George, that's her name on YouTube. And it was really interesting to see the differences with cultures and how they put on makeup. Now, of course, you know, Indian women, American women, a lot of African women, we put the face on. Do they have the 5 times points on Beauty All Stars again? Because I thought that was over. A lot of times when they do that, Jean, you have to click into that just to see where they are and see what I have to see, because I haven't seen that yet. If I haven't, I will post it in the group, the link, so you can find it. Okay, so let's talk about this Fenty stuff. So Fenty is coming out with the Diamond Bomb and this liquid Diamond Bomb. Now, yeah, right. Asian makeup can be very subtle, so usually, now, Lily, you work there. Has it gotten into the store? Because correct me if I'm wrong. This damn thing is, let me see, $28. And this is about the size of a nail polish. From what I've seen, it's about the size of nail polish, y'all. Let me see if they got it. It's about the size of a nail polish. For $28. Don't be that stupid. No, thank you. No, thank you. First off, I don't do those like silvery ones, because no, that is just not my look. It's just not my look. You know, I'm more peachy golds, rose golds. You know, I like to look healthy. I like to look Like, you know, my highlight needs to make me look healthy. And silvery ones don't necessarily make me look healthy. I'm just saying. What the hell? Okay. So no, I'm taking a pass on the Fenty. But to be quite honest, let me just be honest. I haven't gone into a Sephora store in so long. But I have to, I said I was going to go in because there are a few things from Fenty I want. Like, I still want to get, I want to get a couple of highlighters, maybe. But it's like, do I need highlighters? No. So it's not like it's a rush. And plus, you know how I feel about Sephora. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, now I have to be honest. I'm just going to be real with y'all. This is the Kat Von D, what is she calling it? Lolita Por Vida. It's actually a nice neutral palette, y'all. Let's just be honest. This is a nice, pretty neutral palette. It's a nice neutral palette, y'all. I'm not even going to sit up here and freaking lie about it. It's a nice neutral palette. And don't you love the Ofra ones, Jean? And Jean, make sure if you buy from Ofra, you always use a code, because Trend Moods code is always good for 30% off, 25 to 30% off. So you should never pay full price for Ofra. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not gonna buy it, but I have to say this is a pretty neutral palette. You know, listen, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Now, is it for me? Hell no. Now, Diana, okay, I just don't like their point system, so that's why I really don't mess with Sephora that much. Once they change their point system, I might go and shop a little more, because I want you to give me cash for my points. I want you to make, but I predict, as I predicted, with Ulta getting Afterpay, we're going to see Sephora. They're going to do more sales. They're going to become more competitive. So it's going to be it should work in our favors as consumers. So we need to just sit back and watch this roll out. So now let's talk about the NARS. Let's talk about NARS and what they're rolling out for Christmas. Now, I have to be honest. I'm looking at this one right here. I love NARS, but is it just me? But is NARS every fucking palette starting to look alike? Let me pull out one of my palettes. Let me just pull out one. Let's just pull out to do a little comparison. Yep, this is the one I'm looking for. This is the exact one I'm looking for. And I swear to you, I need them to stop putting orgasm in every damn thing. Now watch this. I'm going to just pull this. We're going to check this out right now. I hate trying to do two things at once. Okay, pick this up, Louise. Pick this up. Okay, so we got this right here. And then we're going to put this right next to it. Now, does this not look almost the same? Does this not look almost the exact same? This is the Wanted 2 palette, right? This is the same damn palette. I'm sorry. This is almost the exact. Don't play with me, NARS. It's like they rearranged some things, but right, Orgasm and Laguna. It's like that. They cannot put out anything else. This looks almost like the exact same palette. This one, the only thing is I would say that this highlighter might be a little bit darker, but everything else pretty much looks the same, and they just moved it around. So no. So and if you start really looking at NARS, can we just be honest? I like NARS, don't get me wrong. As a company, I like NARS. But they are so repetitive. They basically do the same exact shit over and over again. It's like, damn, okay, we get it. Now, and don't get me wrong, the packaging is love. Look at that beautiful packaging. See, that's how they get you. Because I looked, I said, damn, that packaging is gorgeous. But no, we do not need to spend that money on that damn packaging. If you do not have it. If you already have that. Hi, Savannah. Because it's like, and then now And if I'll be honest with you, if I buy a brush set, it's going to be Morphe. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because if I'm buying a pretty little brush set at Christmas time, I'm buying my Wet n Wild ones, and I'll buy the Morphe ones, because if I'm going to buy them because they're sparkly and pretty, I'm going to buy those because they're cheaper. And then they've got some glosses and liquid lipsticks and stuff. So, and they got the lip balms. Hi, Savannah. How are you? So, okay, whatever. Now, we were just talking about this. That is the other thing, because I struggle with their packaging. You see, I was struggling with that when you are right, Lily. They are so hard to open. I agree. This is the RuPaul set with Mally. RuPaul has a collab with Mally. Now, I got to be honest with you. They are on QVC, and I think they were on sale, and you can do 6 payments. So I'm trying to debate if I'm going to get some of this, because I love me some RuPaul. I've always loved RuPaul. I have loved RuPaul since Supermodel. You better work, cover girl, work, sachet, Shantae. He did, honey. Now, can I say this though? Really looking at it, this looks like RuPaul now. It doesn't speak to RuPaul back in the day where he was more flamboyant, but this looks like RuPaul's makeup now. RuPaul does a very neutral eye with maybe a really good pop of color on the lips. Let's just be real. Now let's see what else I've seen. Okay, so now let's talk about this. This is the thing. ColourPop has come again with this lilac one. Now, I have not bought anything from ColourPop since the orange one. So I didn't get the strawberry one yet. I didn't get the peach one yet. Now they got the lilac one. Let me tell you, if I get these, is when they go on sale around Christmas time. If I'm buying these, I need a sale now, because I'm over the 9 pans. I see they're just doing, like I said, they're doing iterations on the colors now. So I can wait. Now, because I'm like, okay, I was in a frenzy when y'all first started. Yes, I needed it. Yes, I want it. Now I'm not in that frenzy. So I will wait for them to be 20 to 25% off, and then I will pick them up. But here's the thing that I've learned about ColourPop. When they do these collections, make sure you look and see the collateral products, if they haven't just repackaged them and they're the same colors, because you know they got me with the same color blotted lip in 2 ones. Yeah, ain't no point, and I'm gonna wait till they done, because this one is still not on sale. I'm gonna wait till that baby hits sale too. I need all 3 of them on sale. What else was I gonna show y'all? I got a couple of things I'm gonna show y'all. Okay, let's just talk about this one. I've been meaning to say this one. Let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about this. Now, supposedly these have sold out, but you see Madonna, I ain't mad at Too Faced, because this was a good move. The Madonna things, because Madonna's on tour and they have, this color scheme, blah, blah, blah. Now, most of this shit is it's just what she uses, because this is Queen Bee, right? It has, let me see what it has. One has Lady Balls. One has, I think, Queen Bee. I own those both. I think I got rid of Lady Balls, didn't I? And then these, and I get it, because these are what she's wearing, supposedly what she's wearing on stage on this tour. That's cute. If you're a Madonna fan, me, myself, and I'm not buying it. And I, don't get me wrong, I am a straight Madonna fan. I have loved Madonna since Borderline. Come on, let's sing it together. Borderline. Seems like I'm going to lose my mind. You just keep on pushing my love over. Girl, you couldn't tell me nothing. I had the gloves. Listen, let's go. Let's talk Madonna for a minute. I am a Madonna fan. I have loved her ever since I was a teenager. I'm old enough, some of us are old enough in here, to remember when Borderline came out. I love Madonna. I was listen. I rocked all that shit anyway. You know, I was a straight '80s kid, '80s teenager. So Madonna does hold a place in my heart. One of her best albums, if you've never listened to the whole album, go get Frozen. That is her best album ever. That's when she started maturing and changed her style. And Frozen is a great album. Love Madonna. I think she looks a hot mess now. I think she looks a hot mess now. I think she has done too much work on her face. That's why when she came out with her skincare, MDNA, I was like, girl, shut up. That's like Kylie. Kylie's skincare is Madonna skincare for the 20-somethings. These are two women who do not have regular skincare. You know what I'm saying? Who go to dermatologists, go to get their face worked on, and then they're gonna put out some skincare. So Kylie skincare and MDNA were about the same to me, because neither one of you are, I take you seriously talking about skincare for people like me, because we know that you go and get something not working, fix this up, you gonna get injectables, you're gonna get some fillers, you're gonna get some stretched out, you're gonna get all that done. So and it's so sad that Kylie's that person, and she's only what, 22. Okay, so anyway, I digress. So even though I have that much love for Madonna, I'm not buying that. Now, this has kind of annoyed me too. So Hourglass has come out with their stuff for this, you know, their things. Hi Gemini Love, they come out with these, right? Which is, they're calling this the Ghost one and this Blush Quad. Now I still have not tried Hourglass. Exactly, Jean. I have 3 of them. I love mine. I didn't need one of them because it's too light. Which reminds me, let me see if Lisa wants it. Or Karen. But it's just this but it's like they're all looking the same now. So let me say this. I like the Blush Quad, and I am kind of drawn to it because I've never gotten Hourglass, and it is calling my name like, you know you want me. But this right here is not for me. And I'm looking at it, and they call it the Ghost, and I can see why, because these damn colors, they must be for a ghost, because they show the fuck ain't for nobody with some melanin in their skin. Melanin deficiencies are okay. Jean, you can get this, Karen can get this, Lisa can get this, but for me, it's for the ghost. I mean, and I ain't nothing wrong with y'all ghosts. It's just it ain't for some, and I don't even have that much color. Hey, Kimberly, hey. Now, you came in on that one. Now, the blushes look doable. I'm kind of like drawn to the Blush Quad. Exactly. And but that Ghost thing, no, y'all got us twisted. I better not see nobody with melanin trying to buy this stuff. Oh, but Kinky Sweat did, because she's just gonna buy everything. Because you can't tell me that shit gonna look right on her. If she okay, let me shut up. Let me get back to what I was saying. I'm just saying, if you got any color, that Ghost damn thing ain't for none of us. Let me just throw that shit at the damn screen. I have one light now. Y'all better put your lights in before you leave. Okay. Now let's see what else I want to talk about. I'm not getting this because I'm off of my liquid lipsticks, but damn it. This color is so cute. The Clover 3. I'm letting it go. The Clover 3 is gorgeous. If you like liquid lipsticks, that is a gorgeous color. If they would put that in a lipstick, I would get it. Okay, so we're going through a whole lot of them. This is the Bobbi Brown Kaleidoscope. Right, I mean, you know, listen, I am who I am, but I'm calling that shit out. I would never buy that. And I'm not going to buy it. So I'm not going to sit up here and act like somebody who's deeper. And I have to be real. I don't know. Are you? Girl, you better not buy another one until they go on sale, because Gemini, Dose of Colors always does buy one, get one free. Don't you buy another one. Don't you buy another one. Till they, did you get it on the 21 Days of Beauty when it was half off? Then I'm okay with you getting it. Okay. This is kind of pretty. Look who's here. Do y'all hear this? Come here. She's crying because she was out all night. See, okay, so for the people who know, Porch was a different animal, obviously. So my neighbors, she went outside and was going out to get her night air. Come here. What you want? I'm not going out. Go eat your food. Go eat your food. Come here. Here. Hello. Hello. What you want? You want to come up here for a minute? She's not a jumper on my lap. She's not a snuggler like Porch. You want to come up here for a second? Come here. Come here, fatness. Ah! Let him see you for a minute. Hello. Okay. See, she's not a color. Okay, so there's two things about her. So when she goes outside, my neighbors were having a little party. My neighbors underneath me. Juicy is not Porch. Porch gave no fucks, right? So there's a difference. Juicy is not Porch. So if it's too many people around, she will not come up the stairs because she's kind of skittish. Whereas Porch gave no. Porch would have came up them steps like, what's up? I'm going home. That was the difference with Porch. Porch did not care. You could be sitting on my porch. Why? And so I know. And so Porch, Porch was like, so she would never stay out when she didn't want to be out because she didn't care. She just came up them steps like, yo, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm going upstairs to my house. See y'all later. Juicy will not. And so it was raining last night. So she got stuck outside in the rain until this morning. So that's why she's sounding all pathetic, because she ain't ate in a while. Because she likes to sit on the stairs. I know, I miss my boo too. I miss my boo too. But, and it's, like I said, it's different. Everybody, the thing is, every pet's like your other, you people have different personalities. So she's got a totally different personality than Porch. So she's more skittish. And that's why I think she wasn't a true alley cat, stray. I think she was abandoned because she has abandonment issues. I've noticed that. Okay, so the Bobbi Brown is cute. I can deal with that. Let's talk about this. I was looking for this. Look at the Vise Art Grand Pro 3. Yeah, like I said, I have to say, I'm assuming Porch did send her because she came too damn quick. I'm sorry, I'm kind of living for this Vise Art Grand Pro 3. I don't know if I get it or when I'll get it. Well, I kind of know when I'll get it, if I get there on time. But it's calling my name. All mattes, and then this means that I don't have to buy any of those smaller palettes. If you think about it this way. If you've been thinking about getting those smaller palettes like the dark mattes and the this mattes and everything, you kind of can just get everything in this one and be done with it. Because this pretty much has a lot of the stuff that are in those dark mattes. The only thing it isn't is like the bright mattes. Well, I got enough bright mattes in my life. I don't need Vise Art ones. So I'm going back and forth because now this is where I get conflicted. Is right in the warm tones, because these all look about the same to me. I mean, like the cool tone side over here is gorgeous. It has much more gradation in it. So, the depths are different tones, whereas this in the pictures looks all the same. So that's my only problem right there, because I'll be real irritated to have 15 of almost the same colors. It'll just be like I done just bought an overpriced Morphe palette. Or am I going crazy? Oh, speaking of Morphe, and this is on, Right, pictures never do palette justice. Now this is the Morphe 3503. Now let's just be honest. The 350 for Morphe is like orgasm for NARS. They gonna keep playing that up. They gonna keep rearranging some shit and coming out with a new one and go, ooh, we done something different. What have they done different in this one? Oh, they put a couple of greens in there, right in the middle. And a couple of, like, it looks like they might have some pinkier reds in there. Let's just talk about this one. Let's look at it good. If you have those 35 O's or whatever, if you got the O2, the O, don't buy, you don't need this one. And I'm not a huge Morphe buyer. I don't think the only thing I actually own by Morphe was the Jacqueline one. Do I own any other Morphe palettes? I don't. So the only thing I own Morphe brushes. I think that's the only palette I ever bought from Morphe, honestly. I've thought about buying other ones and I've never pulled the trigger on them. But this is classic Morphe. It's warm tone. And now they've gotten into, in the last year or two, oh, let's throw a shot of color in it. And instead of blue, they put in that. And I could see you having a 35 NG because that's so your color scheme. So I'm like, no, they can have that. They can have that. Now, Makeup Revolution, the king and queen, because they hold the throne on collabs, has a one with this Alexis Stone. I gotta say that's a pretty palette though, but I'm not getting it because, like I said, I tend to not buy a lot of Makeup Revolution palettes because they're so damn hit or miss, and I'm like, I can wait on that. Now, oh, and then let's not forget this. Oh, there's a couple more here, and then I'm gonna go to another place. Okay, so let's talk about this one. This is the So Jaded palette. Now, let's look at this and let me talk shit about it. Let me just talk shit about this. Oh. Let me just talk a little shit. Is that a yay for me talking shit? Okay, so let me just talk a little shit. Okay. Okay, so let me go in. First off, surprise, surprise, it's a Kathleen Lights collab. Stop the presses. ColourPop has done a collab with Kathleen Lights. Said no one ever. Okay, that's number one. So now we're going to do this big palette. I'll talk about that one too, Gemini. So so we got this big 30 pan palette. See ya. Share me with people, honey. Share me with people, Miss Diana. See you later. Don't forget to watch the replay. Give me them views, child. I love a good view. So let's talk about it. This is a boring palette. Number one, I'm with Jean. I prefer smaller palettes. Every once in a while I pick up a big palette, but my preference is smaller palettes. I have a tendency to forget about the big palettes that I have. I have some, but I really do gravitate toward palettes that are like less than 20. Right? So that listen, Alyssa Ashley, how about, can we find some other, so I'm tired of Makeup Shayla too. Okay, so what, okay, let me just, so now my issue with this, besides the fact that it's big as fuck, okay, but that's fine, but what I am tired of in the beauty community, the beauty sphere, is everybody sucking ass. Yes, here's the thing. We know that ColourPop makes they have good quality. Never take that away from them. They have good quality products. But I'm seeing 17,000 So Jaded reviews and for views, really. Because this, So everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Real talk, this is not that interesting to me. And be back. Where's she at? Hold on. If you have this, you don't need this. The only thing she got on her. Hey, Kim Smith. Okay. Emily wants about the same thing. About the same thing. I'm just saying. About the same thing. And it's $39. Girl, I didn't even look at the price of this bitch. This is $39? Let me do some math right quick for y'all. So, this is 30 pans, right? This is 30 pans. So let me break this down to you. That's 9. So that's like 3 9 pans with a cup with 3 extras. 3 9 pans, regular price at $12. So that's 36. So you're kind of paying. I'm just saying right now, don't do it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. If you like it, go ahead and get it. You know, I'm not one to sit up here and tell people do not get it. But I'm talking about, I'm so tired of seeing people suck ass on YouTube and try to act like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. It is so beautiful and so this. When actuality, just being real, ColourPop is very consistent with their quality. So yeah, good for them. So we expect the quality to be there, but to act like, oh my God, and it's like everybody's sucking ColourPop and Kathleen Light's ass when this is like, did I say that out loud? Okay, let me, Louise. This is why you can't be a big YouTuber, Louise. Look at yourself, Louise. Look at yourself. This is why you can't be a big YouTuber. And nothing is truly revolutionary. It's just, it's like, come on, we don't have to do this huge thing about it. And we all know it's about getting some views, because it's not like, you know, like if it was some little other company that you never heard of, that's a smaller indie company, it wouldn't be 17,000 of these reviews about it. It would be like maybe 3. But because ColourPop is ColourPop, Kathleen Lights is Kathleen Lights, everybody wants to get on that train and say, oh my God, look at this. Excuse me, it's so wonderful. I love it. Let me do some looks. Let Kathleen do her looks. Let Kathleen do her looks. In the first place, Kathleen Lights ain't that person who's going to put your name out there. Kathleen Lights, okay. Now, Artist Couture has come out with their first palette. It's called Midnight Maven. It's 8 shades for $29. It's kind of cute. Now, but let me say, my looks are pretty basic. I got a few looks that I can do and I can make them work. So I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm that innovative on my looks. But I will also say this, for my age, I'm not trying to do too much, because if I'm doing this for people in my age group, we're not trying to do 17. We're not trying to do double cut creases and things like that. We want to see how to wear beautiful colors and still look good in them. And just being real, at 52, I'm not about to do, you know, editorial flowers on my eyes or anything like that, because I'm being real about who I am, you know, about who I am as a person, as a beauty person, and what I'm going to do with my eyes, and going to go out and rock it. I'm Oh, well, okay, when we're not talking about the personality, I know I got more personality. Even though I think her personality ain't that bad. But, you know what I'm saying? But for 20 somethings, but you know what? She's hit her niche. People love her. I'm just tired of everybody acting like, oh my God, everything she does with ColourPop is so great. It's fine, but this was unnecessary. She got Dream Street, she's got Zodiac, she's got the Zodiac this, she's got that. Y'all ain't seeing all the stuff and everything. So the Midnight Maven, it's a cute palette. I don't think I'm gonna get it, mainly because I don't know, it's just not super talking to me, but I think it's a good palette for somebody who would be interested in it. It's got a nice amount of, I don't know, you know how you get that little itch on the side of your eye? It's a pretty one. I'm not gonna get this. Now let me show y'all what. Right. Exactly. So, right, for me, it's not about doing like these double cut creases and all that kind of stuff, because that's not the look that I do. But I will rock a bright color and make it look pretty on my eyes, but I'm not going to be doing all of those extras because it's just not who I am. I'm not going to be making waves on my eyes and shit like that. But it would be nice to see her do something a little more interesting. But hey, that's who she is. What's your name? Saticia. Good morning. Okay, so now let's talk about this one that I am definitely getting. Now, okay. So, this is what I'm definitely getting, but I'm going to talk about it too. Also, let me just talk about it too. Let me talk about it. And then we're going to hit another couple of sites so we can see did I miss anything on the new releases, because we still under time. Because, you know, we do 2 hours over here. We do 2 hours in Lululand. This palette is so freaking gorgeous to me. This is the Arcana Palette. Now, this is Strobe Cosmetics, which is changing its name as of tomorrow to Shroud Cosmetics. So this is the Arcana Palette. Ooh, I'm loving it. I am loving it. Right? Ash. So they're changing their name as of tomorrow. This will be on pre-order as of tomorrow. And I'm going to be honest with you, bitch is going to pre-order it. Here's another one I'm going for. I love it. Now, I have all the Strobe Cosmetics. I have the Creepy Cute. I have the Divinity Palette. I like the quality of her shadows. That's number one. But I'm going to tell you why I really like this. I love it because it is a colorful palette. So honey, you here at the right place, because we wear color up in here. I love it because it is colorful, but it is deep, rich, jewel tone, fall, winter colors. Yes. So I think it's beautiful. And I think it's going to work well with the Divinity palette that they already have out. I'd have to look for it. If you all want to see the Divinity, say yes, and I will go search it out right now. But I think it's a beautiful palette. Now, she is changing the name to to Shroud. Now, she's a young girl. She's like 25. She started this when she was 16, and I love her for it. So I love to see people who are doing their thing, living their little dream. So I think it's wonderful that she's doing this. She's changing it to Shroud. The only problem I have with this palette is the nomenclature. The names of the palette of the shades are like Familiar, Shroud, Alchemy, Nocturnal, Mystic, Darkling. Now, I love the colors, but Alter. The thing I have a problem with that is I am very aware of these things and how they work. So I don't know if she's Wiccan. I don't know if she's practicing or learning, but I hate when it unnerves me to see those names on a certain level, because when I feel like people just are just trying to be edgy, like so I kind of stay away from a lot of the things that are like that, these companies that are doing that kind of vibe, because I understand the power of this stuff. And so it kind of so I'm getting it, but the names are kind of problematic for me personally. Now other people it might not bother, but it bothers me because I have delved and I understand that realm, and I don't like that kind of stuff. For instance, years ago, like I don't go to the House of Blues anymore, right? Like Peachy Queen, I won't mess with that one because of, I'm aware of these things and I understand the power in them. See, I know that there is power in these things. We live in a world that says that we have this, but I understand that there's more power than we are willing to admit to. So like for instance, years ago, I went to the House of Blues, and House of Blues are everywhere, but I really don't go to, and since that time, I think I've been in the House of Blues one time since, and I really don't go to the House of Blues. And the reason why I don't is because they play with religions. And at the time I was really delving deeply into ancient cultures and ancient religions and deities and things like that and all these things. And when I went in there and they had all of this stuff and they were playing with dark magic like Santeria and things like that, and I couldn't enjoy myself because I was so freaked out, and I felt the energy of all these things that they were saying, oh, we're just saying that it's okay. You should respect people's faith and the way they and what they believe in. I believe that everything has a faith, it's a faith-based thing, and there is power in all of that faith. So being in a space where they kind of mock it, as far as I'm concerned, I can't be in that space because I understand the power of those things. Me and Donnie had Orisha cards, and they scared us so badly that we got rid of them, and I never touched an Orisha card again. And I understand Orishas to the point, and then once we talked to some people who were in that faith, we understood why they scared us so much. So I have issues with that when I don't understand why are we putting it on things like makeup and things like that. It's just me. Okay, so let me find this palette. Now that I've gotten preachy. That's a good thing. Let me see, can I find the damn thing? Oh, I got a lot of palettes, y'all. I got a lot of palettes, so y'all can give me your thoughts on that, and if I'm crazy or do you understand it or whatever. But all right, so let's see, can I find the Divinity Palette? Oh, there it is. Let me see, anybody say something? Or did I run y'all away? You like, Louis getting all metaphysical on us? Okay, so here is the Divinity Palette. Man, I got it. Yeah, if you approach it in certain ways, tarot isn't bad. You have to get the right cards. For me, I deal with my tarot like it's an extension of the good energies. Right, it really is, G. It's an extension of the energies around me. So I don't, right. Yeah, exactly. And since I know there is power in those things, it makes me fearful because I understand the power of these things. Okay, so here's a Divinity Palette. And so here it is. So see, I could see this definitely working together, doing some cute little looks with it. And so that's my only thing, because there's a lot of companies that do that. And now I don't know. Thank you. This is my PR. Y'all see my PR? So together they look pretty together though, right? See that this one complements that one. So you can do some really cute looks with it. And don't get me wrong, part of the reason why I actually got this palette was her use of deities and the how she actually used colors that represented those deities. And I understand the deities in this one. Well, House of Blues has this thing in them, Jean, where House of Blues is basically performing arts place, and they got the hotels and stuff. So going to a concert there, you're just kind of there. And supposedly, I don't know if they've changed it over the years, but it was more about them saying that all religions were okay and kind of like playing with them, not but saying that the hygiene, I forget how they used to put it, but it was just off-putting to me because they had Santeria candles burning in there. And I understand Santeria candles. I understand and it was like some of them they had were dark Santeria candles. So I'm like, so y'all don't even look and try to find out what you're putting in here. You're just like, oh, we're gonna put all this stuff in here and it's gonna be so cool, it's gonna be so edgy. And that's what unnerved me, because I'm like, we're in this space and y'all don't even know what y'all putting up in here and what kind of energy you're bringing into this space. Because I believe in energies, and but they do, and I don't know if they still do, but they had stuff like Buddhists there. They had things about Christianity, things like that. So they had all of these types of religious iconography. But for me, like seeing, and I was really learning about candles and candle rituals and things like that. And so to be in that space and to see the candles that they were burning and how many different types they were burning, it was like, I'm like, oh shit. Santeria is a form of, it's a religion, where they believe in the deities, and that's where people always talking about voodoo and things. Santeria is kind of like where people come from with the voodoo. And so there's a lot of rituals, and there are candles for certain things, color candles, certain candles that have certain gods and goddesses and things like that. And that's what they were burning in there. And I was like, I was so freaked out. I was like, I gotta go. I want to go. So that's where, yeah, I mean, it would be different but it was, I think it was especially the candles that freaked me out. So like this, like when I saw what she did here with divinities, I understood it, because all the divinities in here are goddesses of fertility, of motherhood, of things like this. Hathor, Oshun, Kedish, Aphrodite, Freya, Rati, Bastet, Milda. These are all these are goddesses of beauty, of sensuality, of fertility. And so that's why I understood it, and the colors that she chose that she used are associated with these goddesses. So this, I was like, okay, cool. So that's why I'm wondering if she's just doing research and she's going in this direction, or if she's really into this, because honestly, I am into this. I am into the goddesses. So seeing Bastet, because Bastet is one of my goddesses that I identify with, yeah, maybe that was in, the whole multicultural thing, but, and then, they had stuff that was Hindi, they had, I think that if I'm not mistaken, they had they'll have stuff like Kali in there. And don't get me wrong, I understand Kali. So I don't think of Kali like we do from the things that we have seen in movies and things. I understand Kali. I understand, who am I thinking of? Sekhmet. I understand all these goddesses, and I understand their stories. But it's like when you just throwing that shit in there, it's like, oh, okay. So anyway, that was a long conversation about that. So sorry. I went off on another tangent. We know I have tangent moments. But anyway, I do think it's a beautiful palette. At the end of the day, I think it's a beautiful palette. I'm honestly, I might get it and kind of like take some of the names off. with a black marker just to make myself feel better. Just to make myself feel better. I might, because darkling bothers me. That's the real one that really bothers me is darkling. Because, so I'm still going to get the palette. But it's like, it's messing with me. I'm just being honest. You know, I'm going to get it, but it still bothers me. It bothers me. No, everyone, there should be a healthy respect for other cultures, other religions, and say that we don't all have to worship the same way, but we need to respect each other's cultures and religions. So let me see, do I see anything else cute that we might want to look at? See, some of the stuff is looking the same to me. So I think that was the one that's really calling my name. Ooh, this is kind of cute. Wait a minute. Who makes this one? Let's look at this one. Rebel Rouge. Look at this one, child. I did not see the... Let's look at this one. Ooh. She cute. She cute. Oh, speaking of things, Glamlight is having a flash sale that starts in a little bit. So if you've been thinking about getting Glamlight, they're going to have a flash sale starting at what time? Noon Pacific time. Use the code FLASH and you'll get at least 30% off of everything on the site. She kind of cute though. See, these fall grungy colorful palettes is giving me. Right, exactly, Kelly. You know, and I think we as Americans really need to work on that and really need to tell our young people, y'all need to get it together. Y'all want to travel the world, but y'all want to act like stupid Americans when you get there and wonder why shit happens and then want to cry, you know, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Please save me. Save your damn self. So this is Rebel Rouge. I'm telling y'all, all these indies better get on Afterpay. And I know everybody like, oh my God, Afterpay. But they need to do Afterpay because they can tend to be a little bit higher price. And a lot of times they just cannot afford to do a lot of sales. So they need to do that. So more people will try them out. I'm just saying. I'm a dummy. I'm a pay. You know, if I got the coins, I'm a pay. But not everybody gonna pay like me. Now this one is called Never Trust the Living by Peachy Queen. Peachy Queen, this one is okay because it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. I don't know about the colors though. Now I will say I like Peachy Queen's formulas. I really do like her formula, but I don't know. Nothing has really been calling to me from Peachy Queen lately. I'm like, they're okay. And then she did and let me tell you something that I don't fuck with. I don't mess with I'm sorry, I don't find the Ouija board funny. I don't know if I told you all that, but I had a Ouija board as a kid. Don't ask me why I got one. This is what happens when you're a kid by yourself. You buy stupid shit. Oh, I'm gonna get me a Ouija board. Oh no. Let's not do that again. You know, I'm all by myself and I'm gonna get me a damn Ouija board. You know you're not supposed to be doing no damn Ouija board, especially by yourself. My little young ass, I was about 11 years old, bought my damn self a Ouija board. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, what the hell? What the hell? What was you thinking about? What is this? I know this is old. Oh. Right, I told y'all. Right, exactly. I told y'all my uncle was a fortune teller, right? Yeah, some of y'all know my uncle was a fortune teller. He was a scam, but he was a fortune teller, and that's my great uncle, and that's how he made his living, as a fortune teller. Right. Girl, right. My little ass got it home. Exactly. Honey, let me tell you, my my uncle was the biggest scam, but and that's how he made his money, my great uncle. And I had to put on some what's this stuff called? Some sunscreen, because I'm trying to make sure I do some sunscreen, y'all. A little sunscreen in my life. Push that face up. Whew, I am breaking out. Let me take care of my skin tonight. So yeah, so that was so you know, growing up, I mean, my uncle had crystal ball, the whole nine. Used to do seances. How he scammed people, girl, because he was girl, my uncle, I told you, okay, so this was my, okay, let me go back. This was my Uncle Furman. His name was Frank, but we called him Uncle Furman, and my Aunt Hazel. This was my grandmother's youngest sister and her husband, my Uncle Furman, my Aunt Hazel. This was my uncle who was black as night but didn't like dark-skinned people. I kid you not. He was crispy than a motherfucker and did not like dark-skinned people. And I did not know that for years. Because, right, he was Uncle Ruckus. Because my grandmother was super militant, you know, and my Aunt Edwina, who I'm named after, was super militant. So, you know, these were my pale people, but you know, they was my Uncle Lucian, who my nephew was named after, my Uncle Lucian. He was my, this is so crazy. Okay, we're going back into my personal family history. My grandmother and her sister, my Aunt Alice, married brothers. So they were double first cousins. My father and my Uncle Lucian, and they look like brothers. If I showed you a picture of them when they were, everybody thought they were brothers because they looked alike. Well, hell, of course they did, because they, you know, that's how close the tie was. So anyway, my Uncle Lucian, till the day he died, was militant than mug, and we talking about, you know, white skin, blue eyes, soul brothers. So I didn't understand that my Aunt Hazel and my Uncle Furman were not these people, because this is pretty much my family. You know, we was them, for the people who ain't black, you know, my family, you know, a lot of times, you know, what they always say is a lot of times light-skinned people are some of the most militant people you'll find. Why? Because, and for, on many levels, because we've seen things on both sides. So like my grandmother used to tell me about the paper bag clubs down south and how she didn't fuck with them, stuff like that, because she didn't believe in that. So that's what I grew up on, was that ain't cool. And I have a rainbow of people in my family. Hey Nikki, hey. So I have a rainbow of black folks in my family, like, which is most black families. So I never knew. So for a long time, I didn't understand. I didn't know how they were, you know, I just assumed they was like all the rest of us. So until I had stayed with them. And that's when I found out what a scam my uncle was and how they thought, my Aunt Hazel and him thought. So I was like 9 years old, and that's when I stayed with them for a while, because my mama had a heart attack and she was really sick. And so they moved me up there to stay with them, to go to school for a little while. And I was going to finish out the year there so mama could recuperate. I would come home on the weekend and stuff like that. That's what was the plan, because my mother, it happened all of a sudden. Okay, so that's what happened. So I'm staying with them. Now, mind you, I used to love going over there, because Uncle Furman would kick me down coins. Now we talking about, this was 4th grade. So I want to say 77, 78. whenever I would go visit them, my Uncle Furman would give me money. We ain't talking a little money. We talking 1977, 78. I would go over there at 7 years old and come home with like $25. $25. That was a lot of money back then, right? So I used to like going over there because the coinage was good. And they would feed me and they would be like, oh, Tweety, Tweety, Tweety. I didn't understand it was based on my complexion at the time. So now I'm staying over there with them, going to school in the hood, in the neighborhood. Now I'm coming from the suburbs, but I lived in the hood, before. So I'm here. And it was some kids who lived on the corner. So, I'm going to go kick it with the kids on the corner. So, I'm kicking it and stuff. Now I'm staying with them. Now, Uncle Furman giving me my money. I can go get candy. I got the shit now, so I got candy money and stuff. Now, growing up with my parents, I am the generous one. So, I'm hanging out and I see they don't have that much money. So if I got money to go get candy, I'm going to get everybody candy. So, I'm going out to play with the kids. So if I go get candy, I'm getting candy for all of us. Because that's what I was taught. You don't sit up there and begrudge somebody just because they had. And it was like a family. It was like 5 or 6. It might have been 5 or 6 of them. So, I'm kicked it with my people on the corner. So then it was like, they kept saying stuff like, oh, you hanging out. Oh, and I'm looking at them like they crazy because they cool with me. These kids is cool with me. We kicking it. We playing it and everything. And they're the only kids on my block. So it gets to this point where they really didn't want me to play with them, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm playing with them. So I'm literally, and then that's when they started kind of alluding to them being about their color. And so at first I'm like, what is this going on? And so then I went home one weekend and I mentioned it. And that's when I found out what was really going on. And my mother was like, oh, there they go with that color thing. And my daddy too. Now, I have to show you a picture of my parents. My mom was brown, my daddy white. I'm darker than my daddy was. So they're like, there they go with that mess. And my sister was like, here we go. So that's when they first started coming out. Right. No, see, I wasn't broke. Listen, they was giving me coins. I'd be hanging out. He would have them people coming in to get their little scammy little thing because he told me the straight up truth. I ain't telling them what they need to hear. So I know he was a scam. So he was like, they were like, oh yeah, that's the way they are. And I was like, what? So it was like they used to say stuff like to my mama, like low key shit, like, oh, Sally got that good hair, because my mama had straight hair. So it was like she was okay. She was brown skin, but she got that good hair. So that was okay. She got that good hair. And they used to say stuff, and then I started noticing. They would tell my older sister Terry, who was the darkest of us, of my family, my immediate family, like, ooh, you so cute to be so dark. You got that shape. At least you got that shape to be so dark. And then I started catching what they were saying, and I was like, whoa. So now I'm irritated because I don't like that shit. That ain't cool. Listen, I used to be like, I want to be dark. I want to be like my big sisters. Why do I have to be so light? So I was like, so now I'm going back. And get to the point, my cousin Lukey, this is which I found out later on was her grandson. My cousin Lukey lives there. He's around my sister's age. He's a little bit older than my sister. My sister's 10 years older than me. So he's in like his early 20s. And I would hang out with him. He had a pool table. I used to play, listen, I was 9 years old in the basement playing pool with grown men taking their money. This is the kind of shit I used to do. So I'm down there, playing pool and shit. And I used to hang out with Lukey. This is my big cousin and everything. And so then one day Lukey decides they tell him to talk to me about these kids and tell me that, basically low key, stop being around them because they couldn't keep me. Because every time I went outside, I was sneaking to play with them. And because they was like, what about these girls? Because it was some little light-skinned girls. And I was like, I don't like them. In my head, I was like, I don't like them bitches because they stuck up. So anyway, I want to play with my people, my homies. So then they were like, They had Lukey talking to me, and we playing, pool down in the basement, and he gets to talking to me about these kids, and he was like, yeah, they got VD. Now, luckily, I have older sisters and everything, so at the time, I knew what VD meant, and I knew what it was. I kind of knew what it was about. Straight up. I'm in 4th grade. He's like, yes, they have, VD. And you don't want to be around them because you could get it. And so in my head, I'm going, these motherfuckers is crazy. Because in my head, I'm going, what's VD got to do with me? I ain't having sex with these people. They my friends. What's that got to do with anything? I was like, oh, okay. So now at this point, I'm ready to go home. So I told my parents, I came home. I was like, I want to come home. They're crazy. They're crazy. And so, but then, they were like, literally, like, if you go around these kids, you can't have this. So I had to stop acting like I was around them, sneak and play with them, but I'm still getting coins from them. So I'm still getting my little coinage from my uncle and stuff. So he kicking me down $6, $10. So I told my parents, because, I lived in the suburbs. I told him, I said, listen, I'm miserable here. I hate these people now. They're terrible people. I don't want to stay with them anymore. I love them, but I don't want to stay with them anymore. And finally, I said, listen, y'all know I know how to ride public transportation. I said, I got money. I'm coming home. So whether y'all want me there or not, I'm coming home now. Mama, you feel better now. And so finally, my father was like, bring my baby home. And so I didn't finish out the year, because my mother was like, the year, let's just finish out the year. It's, because this is like, I want to say it was about May. It was after my birthday. That's after my aunt cut off all my hair back here. That's when I really hated the whole, because she cut off all the back of my head and it was a mess. So I was like, I want to come home. And my mother was on to finish out the year. The school year's almost over. We can just make it a little bit longer. And then I finally told myself, I'm going to run away. I'm coming home. I know how to get home. I said, I'm going to get on this bus. I'm going to go to the train. I'm going to get on the train. I'm going to come out home. I'm going to get on that bus. And why she cut it? Oh, okay. So here's the story of why she cut my hair. You missed that one, Bella, because I told this story before. So here's what happened. When I was in beginning of 4th grade, my older sister, Terry, who I was like her little mini-me, cut off all her hair to a little afro. So I said, Terry, cut off my hair. And my crazy ass sister cut all my hair off. Okay, Tweety, you sure you want this? Yes, I want to look just like you, Terry. So she cut off all my hair. So my hair was this long, I wish I still had the pictures from in 4th grade. I had this teeny weeny little afro. And after the fact, of course, I regretted it and I wanted my hair back. So in order to grow my hair back, once it grew out enough, my sister was cornrowing my hair. Cornrow my hair every couple of weeks, every week, every 2 weeks, she would come and just give me cornrows. So I was wearing cornrows a lot. So now my mama has been sick. I'm staying with my aunt. Now, first off, I didn't understand this part either. Cornrows, she couldn't stand my cornrows. But there was nothing she could do about it, because Terry would do my hair. My hair would be every weekend. Terry would do my hair. Okay. So now I'm at this school over in the neighborhood, and they're going to have a little thing, it was like Black History Month or some shit. They were having some kind of pageant-y kind of thing. And so, trying to get ready for it. Now, my braids was a little old. I was trying to reach my sister to see could she do my braids, but I couldn't reach her because she was in college at the time. She was 10 years older than me, so she was in college. I wasn't able to get her on the phone. And then my aunt was like, well, I'll just do your hair. Okay, you my aunt. I'm living here. You're going to do my hair. And she's like, we're just going to press it out. We're going to make it real pretty. We're going to do some curls. Okay, cool. Yeah, because now my hair is grown out. To my aunt, they were bad, because it represented being pro-Black, and my aunt wasn't that person. So I understand, Nikki, as a Black person, especially back then, this is the 70s, things that were considered very pro-Black, very African inspired, a lot of older Black people did not agree with that. And so to my aunt, cornrows was like that stuff. So to her, she never likes the cornrows. But my hair was done, and so now she's like, my aunt, okay, let me tell you how deep my aunt was. My aunt was one of those old school black people who pressed their hair all the time. Every night, my aunt pressed her hair. To the point, this was so funny. My mom was so stupid. I loved her dearly, but shit just went over her head. Because my mom had straight hair. My mother had very straight hair. Right, they really are. So my mom, she assumed my aunt had straight hair like her because my aunt's hair was always straight. And she would act, and my aunt Hazel would act like they had similar hair textures. And so when I told my mama that, you know, Aunt Hazel presses her hair every night, yeah, some still consider it bad. Exactly. But it's about the whole thing trying, you know, very cultural thing, you know, it's too cultural, it's too much. So when I had to tell my mom, I was like, you know, she pressed her hair every night, Mom. And she was like, no. She's like, why would you do that? Because my mom always wanted her hair to be, you know, to have some texture to it, because her hair was too straight to her. Whereas, you know, so that's another part of the story. So anyway, my aunt is like, I'm going to do your hair. So she's like, you know, I'm going to press it out. We're going to do it all nice. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, okay, since I can't reach Terry, can't get my cornrows, let's do this. So she, you know, washes my hair, you know, this back in the day, you know, we ain't got blow dryers and shit, so we gonna do my hair. So she decides, she says to me, I'm gonna give you a line. I am in 4th grade. I have no idea what a line is. Have absolutely no idea what a line is. It's a line, okay. I heard her say she gonna give me a line, okay, because now we kind of pressed down my hair, you know, and she's like, oh yeah, we need to give you a line. I don't know what the fuck that is. And for people who don't know, that's when they, on a guy, where they clean up your back end and they're supposed to take the extra hair. Girl. So I'm like, okay, Auntie. Now, you know, see, I'm older. I was raised, you know, whatever, your aunts and stuff, you just gotta respect, you gotta go with what they do. I didn't know what the fuck it was. Okay. So she's like, put your head down. So I put my head down, and I heard the clippers. Still don't get what she's about to do. I hear zzz, and then I go, here I go, oh. Then I hear zzz again. So by the time she was done, my hair was here. She had cut off all my hair to the tops of my ears. I had no hair back there. No hair. Absolutely none. And so now I don't know what's happening, right? I have no clue what's happening. And then, you know, she finishes up my head and everything. And then I go and I did like this, and I started crying. And you know, old people, you better stop that crying, girl. You know, you gonna get, you know, I'm gonna whoop your butt. You know, you can't cry, you're gonna get your ass whooped. So I was like, I'm trying not to cry, but I ain't got no hair in the back of my head, y'all. I was sick. And that was the debate. That was like toward the end. I got to get out these crazy people's house. They are insane. I need to go. Girl, she took all my hair. And my hair had grown back. So my hair had went from here to my hair was, you know, I was 9 years old. My hair grew. And all I was wearing was cornrows. So my hair might have been almost as long as my hair is right now. No, because I wasn't doing shit to it. My sister was growing it back. Right? But, you know, we grew up. But hell, speaking up at that point wasn't going to help me, Bella. Because I had absolutely no idea what she was doing. I just trusted her to do my hair. This is my aunt. She knows how to do hair. So I didn't know. I had no idea what a line was. So I just let it happen because this is what she's doing. And when she hit the clippers, I didn't even know what clippers. I didn't even associate the fact that she was about to cut all my damn hair off with these clippers. Didn't associate any of that. So yeah, it was terrible. So I had to grow that shit back. So that's the story of me with my so so that's my story of when I started really learning about tarot and all that kind of stuff. So that was that, and that's how that worked. But yeah, so we've had a nice little long story for me that went on and on and on and on and on. Hope I didn't bore y'all too much. Hope I didn't bore y'all too much, because I showed to give y'all a whole lot of story. Whole lot of story. Hope I didn't bore you too much. Well, there is a certain thing to say to respect your elders. And it, and I still believe in that, but some of it you have to, you need to tell your kids about those particular elders to say before you say, I need to ask my mama. Can I talk to my mama? Look, we have to just be honest. So there is a respect that needs to be given to older people, but just out of courtesy of them being this damn old. But there also needs to be the real truth about some of these elders. Like, for instance, my cousin was married to a Creek. So all the women knew in the family he's a Creek. And so as you got older, we told, you told the girls, if he looking at you crazy, don't ever be in a room by yourself with him. Now, he never, right. So, it was like, don't be around him. It was, the word was that you could not be around him by yourself. And so if you were ever in a room with him by himself, you got to leave. Because he's creepy like that. So I had to learn about that too. It's like, do not be in a room by yourself with him. Okay. He was creepy too. And she stayed with him till she died, and he was horrible. But anyway, but we all got the people in our family. So anyway, yeah, so that was that. So that was that story. Yeah, okay, let's just be honest. Every old person ain't a good person because they wasn't good in the beginning. We have to be honest, say, some people are just mean, evil, nasty people from the giddy up. Ain't nothing nice about them. And yes, we should respect our elders, but we also need to be realistic with some of these old people. I don't fuck with you. I'm gonna stay away. So out of respect for you, I'm just gonna stay out of your sphere. So for me, with older people that I know that I can't, you just a mean motherfucker, I just try to limit my time with them. And when they get like that, it'd be like, okay, well, let me just roll on up out of here. I don't need to be around you. That's how I show my respect for my elders, because I'm gonna try to be as respectful as possible, but so by limiting my time with you, I can keep my respect rolling for you without me going, now, okay, now, woman. But I will do that one now. I won't call them out their name, but I'll be like, oh, okay, it was good seeing you. That's how that's how I learned how to deal with these old motherfuckers in my life. And as my mother says, and it's so interesting, my mama used to say, watch how a person ends their life and you will understand how they live their life. So my mama's theory was, if you see a person who, and that's not true of everybody, but like, for instance, if they have this lingering and they're a lot of pain, just see how they were as an adult. Like, for instance, I feel like this, and I feel like sometimes, yes, some of the good people go fast, but I think that's God's way of releasing them from pain on earth. So even though we want them to be here, I truly believe the good people tend to go faster. They don't linger as long as a lot of people do. Because I know some old high event, and I always say evil marinates. Them old evil people, they stay alive forever because that evil been marinating inside of them. So they live for a long time. I think good people tend to leave us quickly because, because God's like, okay, I'm not gonna put you through this pain. You're not, so I'm gonna release you. And that's just my own personal theory about that. Girl, see, Janine, that's what I'm saying. Evil, I mean, I'm just being honest. You see some of these old people, you be like, damn, why are you still here? Lessons to do better and to make them suffer on earth for a little bit longer. Because usually they going through some stuff health-wise, they just deteriorating and they were having, and I think that's God's way. Okay, remember all the time you was mean and evil to folks? We gonna make you feel it. So that's kind of the way I feel about things. So even though people leave so quickly sometimes, I'm like, but they was a good person. So that was God's way of, releasing them and letting them go on up into their next level of whatever, whatever they believe in, their next level. Just being honest. Just being honest. And that's not to say, people don't get cancer, but I think sometimes, a lot of times, it moves so rapidly through some people because they were actually pretty nice people. Right. They don't deserve that piece just yet. We gonna make you feel some shit before you leave this earth. And so, like, for instance, my mama went real quick. My mama went like that. And I know she was a good person. My father went very quickly. When his cancer and emphysema started, getting bad, it accelerated really quickly and he was gone. And even though I missed them, I feel like I'm glad that they didn't suffer, right? So I know that my parents lived good lives because God took them quick. He's like, okay, we're done with you. Let's go. And even though, of course, I would have loved for them to be here, I feel better about the fact that they didn't suffer. They weren't in pain for long, things like that. I would hate to have had my parents deteriorate to that point where they were, just a vegetable living in pain and stuff. You don't want that for your loved ones. And I think sometimes we forget about that as humans. And I'm sorry, Sarah, if we're having this conversation, because I understand where you're at right now. That sometimes it's okay to let them go. Now, do we miss them? We miss them for the rest of our lives. We really do. And grief is a long and drawn out process, and it never really leaves you. But there's a place of peace within that grief that you find. And so I had to learn that early on, of course, in my life. But that's the way I feel about those things, just so you know. So when you're dealing with that, sometimes it's like, think about the person that they were and say, they're okay now. God took them and they with them. And in that moment, you don't give a fuck about God taking them in their place because you want them in your life. And I've always said that. One thing, here's what I'm going to tell anybody who has never lost anybody. Please, in those moments, don't tell them they're in peace and they're in peace. We don't give a fuck at that moment. Because I'm like, I was with somebody, a family member, when her mom died suddenly. And one of her friends, one of her friends was with us talking about perfect peace. She's in perfect peace. She's in perfect peace. And I had to stop myself from not hitting this bitch. Like, shut the fuck up. Because in this moment, she don't care about that. My cousin, right. Exactly. So it was like, in that moment, I understand you think this is going to help, but it's not. Right, exactly. It's not going to help this person feel better. It's going to be like, I don't want to hear this right now. I've lost this person that's so important to me, that I love with all my heart, that this means this much to me, whoever it is. So I'm saying that do not tell people they're in a better place, because we don't give a fuck about that better place right now. Right now, I'm sad and angry and mad because this person, whoever they are no longer in my life. I will not be able to see them tomorrow. I will not be able to talk to them. So I'm just giving y'all that for people who've never dealt with tragic loss, serious tragic loss in your life like that. Hey, it's going to happen one day, so be prepared. But in those instances, most of us do not want to hear about they're in a better place. I promise you. I didn't want to hear, oh, she's in a better place. She ain't next to me, so it ain't a better place as far as I'm concerned. And that's what I'm saying. Right. You know what I say to people? I say hugs and loves to you. And if you need me, let me know. So when people tell me that, I always say hugs and love. That's why you always notice I always say hugs and love. Because that's what I know what you need. You need hugs and love at this point. You don't need the I'm sorry's or they're in a better place. And don't tell me none of that shit. Hugs and love. That's all I can give you is hugs and love at this moment, as much as I can give you. So if it seems like if any you see anything like that written up and all you see me say is hugs and loves, you know, for you and your family, that's why I say that, because I have dealt with it and I know how it feels to be in that position. So that's just my way of, you know, letting people know. And I also say, but what I do say, and so see, there you go, Sarah. So see, you understand. And I always tell people who deal with grief and somebody that important that leaves you is understand that grief is a solitary process. So people will be around you. Right. So people, just give them a hug. Just hug them. If you're near them, just give them a hug. Because sometimes that's all you need. And just say, you know, and so what happens is, and now here's the thing that you have to understand if you never dealt with something like that. Understand that their grief is going to be longer than you expect it to be. If you've never dealt with death like that in your personal life, this whole belief that get over it is ridiculous. Everybody's grief process is different. I do believe, right, you know, yes, honey, exactly, as your mama, she'll come first. So I do believe that some people do need to go to grief counsel, because sometimes it does overwhelm them. And if you feel like you're grieving and you cannot live your life, move forward, then understand that you probably need to be counseled. But in general, grief is a very solitary place to be. And there are going to be times, and people who have never dealt with it don't get that 6 months later, you could just burst out in tears. 2 years later, you could just burst out in tears about these people. And they're like, oh, why are you still doing this? Clearly, you've never dealt with it. Now, if it stops their life, if they can't do anything, then I believe that they do need to get into grief counseling to process and deal with these feelings. But grief should never stop your life, but it is going to be there for quite some time. It will be there for the rest of your life. I still have grief for my parents. My parents have been gone forever in the grand scheme of things, and I still have grief for them. So it's always going to be there, and sometimes it might not come up for a long time, you know. Right, exactly. So sometimes, you know, it might be a long time without me feeling these waves of grief, and then sometimes it might be a few times. Now, I'm at this point when people usually don't know, well, people don't know that I'm having a sad moment, because I deal with it privately, but it is what it is. And so I think that people who are around people who have had loss like that need to stop telling people, oh girl, get over it, or however you put it, because that's not how life works. And God forbid you have to deal with this and then have to see how it feels, and would hate to see how you're going, you know, would not want the same thing said to you. So, you know, it's like, people have to, and I think part of the problem is, just in general with people, we have no empathy. And this isn't about being an empath and feeling people's, you know, pain or anything. It's just about being an empathetic person on all levels. We don't have empathy for other people. We don't say, you know, we always have this belief, and social media has made it so much worse, that we're going to say how we're going to feel about something. And if I was doing it, it would be like this. You don't know, you cannot tell somebody how to act or feel or process something. You can help them through it, but this whole belief that, oh, you wrong for your feelings, or you're wrong for this. Everybody needs to stop that. I mean, like, I talk shit in reference to things like business, and I'm like, no, don't do this for business when it comes to those type of things. But when it comes to the major things and how people, I ain't gonna fuck with you like that, because everybody has to work through things, you know. And so often people don't get that. You know, we're so quick to say, oh, they fucked up, you know. Like, for instance, like I said, you know, I have a piece on my community page about how a man tried to abuse me, right? And I think that I needed to go through that process so that I could be more empathetic to women who have gone through it or dealt with it. Because before then, I was always like, oh, that shit would happen to me. You know, nah, that's some bullshit. I wouldn't do this. I had to deal with it. Now, yes, it didn't happen to me. It didn't get to the point where I was being abused by this person. But I saw how it can happen to somebody who has a different mindset, who has a different personality than me, who could get caught up in an abusive situation before they even know they're in it. Ooh, my nose. Hold on. Hold on. Where's something to blow my nose with? Oh, shit. Here we go. Be back. So even though I technically was not physically abused, even though I was not verbally abused, even no matter how much this guy tried to do it, emotionally abused, none of that happened to me because I didn't allow it, but he did try it. And by being in that situation, I saw how it can escalate. I mean, literally, there was a moment when I tried to jump out of a moving car. I did not care. That's how. And maybe one day I'll do a story time about the situation. But no, right. And we tend to victim blame. And I've been in that situation. I'm like, she's so stupid. But, you know, but we have to see, by seeing it, I understand now how it happens, because abuse is insidious. It is not, he came up to you and slapped the shit out of you. No. Abuse starts with words and tearing you down as a person. And I was strong enough to see what he was trying to do. And it was like, right, exactly. And so I had to look at myself and see, oh, this how this shit works. And like I said in the piece, what he tried, and when he figured he couldn't get me, he used his daughter to keep me around because I wanted to make sure she was okay. You know, yes, it's all about the mental and emotional side. And so if they can break you like that, honey, when they hit you, you already broken. So if they mentally and emotionally broke your ass down, the hit ain't shit. The hit is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let me tell you, I wound up staying with him because I was in transition. We started out as kind of like friends. He was just letting me stay there, and then it escalated. And right, he would do stuff like, I gotta go to work in the morning. For instance, this is a true story, and I was like, this motherfucker is crazy. He asked me to go to his father's funeral. I never met his father, but his father died. You know, see you, Nikki. So he asked me to go to his father's funeral. Okay, cool. So I go to his father's funeral. I don't know anybody there. I've never met his family. I'm there. We go to the burial. I kid you not. His brother spoke to me and said a couple of words like, hey, how you doing? I spoke to him back, and he said something like, oh, I heard about you. Okay, thank you. Went on with my day. We get in the car, and a few hours later, and I'm at his house, and I'm over with him, and, you know, it's later on in the day, and he's like, what did he say to you? So I'm looking at him like, what? He's like, what did my brother say to you? Why was you talking to him? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He went this whole thing, and then I tried to go to sleep because I got to go to work the next day. He woke me up out of my sleep to grill me for hours on his brother that I just met. And why was I talking to him? And what did he say to me? And he knows something was going on. And I'm looking at him like, you are insane. You know this, right? I'm like, your brother, I don't even know him. What are you talking about? I was just being cordial. He said hello. I said a couple of words. You were standing almost next to me when it happened. But any other person, and I was like, in my head, well, this motherfucker is crazy. But in some women, and doing those things, which is so psychological, like waking you up out of your sleep and making you talk like this and making you defend yourself for no fucking reason, will take a toll on you mentally and psychologically. So I told him, I said, oh, I know what you're doing. I said, but that shit ain't never gonna work with me. And he kept trying to break me and kept trying to break me on levels like that. But who I am, that shit was never gonna work because I'm too strong mentally. Fuck your ass. You ain't gonna do shit. And so and then it started getting physical. But he would never really put his hands on me. I found out later on he had he had been, there was a moment when he almost went down. And so when I finally got out of his house, and it was just like, and like I said, I had to get out. I just left because part of the reason why I had stayed there so long was because of his daughter. And I was trying to make sure she was okay. And I felt like she needed this, needed a woman in her life, to show her the way, So I had to leave, because it was like, okay, I got to go. And even after I left, he did crazy ass shit. I mean, literally. I was like, I don't want you. I don't want you. Let me make this clear. I don't want you in my life. No. I was living in my dance studio. That's how deep it was. I was living in my dance studio. Luckily, my dance studio had the biggest bars of life on the doors. Because one night he sat in my front of my store and shook the bars like, I know you're in there. Now, this crazy motherfucker was so crazy. My dog, my 140-pound Akita was looking at him, but because he knew my Akita, he was so crazy that he thought that my dog wouldn't fuck him up. So I had to go get rabies shots for my dog because I was like, because if it comes down to it, I'm going to let my fucking dog attack him and fuck his ass up. So, but literally, I'm sitting in the back room, scared to leave my studio because I'm like, is he going to come? And these were like old iron gates. And there was a moment I said, is this motherfucker going to break through? Now, there was no way he could break through, but he had me to that point. He did shit like, he was around the corner sometimes. And my friend can even attest to this if I even, we haven't even talked, but we were going out. This Negro chased us in a car for miles. Like, I'm going out. I told you I don't fuck with you like that. And he sat in his car around the corner and saw me leaving. And as I'm leaving, he tried to cut her car off. She's like, girl, I got this. So she had like this big ass lug wrench in the car. She was like, if he keeps doing this shit, we gonna fuck his ass up. That's how deep it got. To the point that I had to take a physical stand against him. And so that's what you have to understand. It can escalate. And because I was the person that I was, he never broke me. He never broke me. The last time I was in a car with him, he said to me, I could beat your ass right now and throw you in the alley and nobody would even know it. That's when I tried to jump out the car while it was moving. But since he was trying to hold me in, that's when I started fighting that motherfucker in the car. So he driving and I'm fucking his ass up. Right. So it was like, so I understand. So, but that situation showed me how it can escalate. And I mean, we're talking about, it was still escalating when I didn't even, and I kept, I don't like you. I don't want you in my life. Leave me alone. Go away. And he was still coming at me. He was determined. He would do crazy ass shit. Like he would call me up and be like, just call my phone and call my phone. And then he would start texting me. And then the text would escalate because I wasn't responding. It was so crazy, right? And so then that's when, you know, and I cut off and I had to get an order of protection. I had to do everything, stop any communication, say nothing to him. And let me just say this, for years, even at the order of protection, he still tried to contact me. I got the order of protection in 2013. I finally, you know, and this had been going on for about a year. And people were acting like, unless they saw what happened or were witness to it, they really didn't understand how crazy it was. Some of my friends really understood how crazy it was. And then finally, I just went and got an order of protection because I said, I need to protect myself from when this crazy motherfucker comes at me. Because right before then, and the problem was he was down the street from my dance studio at this point. He left me, he sent me this message like, you know, basically like, I'm gonna beat your ass. You know, basically, he would never say I'm gonna beat your ass, but he would allude to it. And that's what told me he knew what he was doing, because he never said it. It was threatening enough, but never outright the words. So he said some shit to me like, I'm coming down and blah, blah, blah. It was early morning on a Sunday. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, streets is kind of, the hood is quiet. And he was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this if you don't do this. So he was like, you know, I'm coming down there. Let me tell you. That's why I always tell people, don't let the light skin fool you. So at that moment, I was done. You know, because at this point, he doesn't know who truly I am. Oh, I still do, Sarah. But, so he was like, he said that shit to me, and I went back to who I can be. Because, you know, he knew me as 40-something Lou. You know, I'm much calmer, I'm cooler, you know. He didn't know the goon I can be. So, he was like, yeah, let me tell you. It was raining. I pulled my hair. My hair looked just like this. I went out on the streets. I was standing on 71st Street like this. He pulled his car over and was jumping out at me. I said, come on, let's go. And I swear to you, we was going to fight right there on 71st. And when he saw the crazy in my eyes, he backed down. I said, no, you want to fight me, motherfucker? We going to fight right now on this street. You ain't get me in no alley where you can, no, we going to do it right here on 71st. Everybody going to see this shit go down. Now what? And he saw the crazy in me. And when I'm that crazy, I don't think, let me get this, let me get that. I was straight up ready to fight. I was like, you gonna have to kill me out here on the street right the fuck now. That's what's about to happen. But you motherfucker you're gonna be just hurt as I am. And I didn't even say all that. I was like, come on, let's go. But this was all in my head. I'm gonna have to kill this motherfucker out on these streets. So because of that, that's when I got the restraining order, because I was, you know, someone told me, no, you need to get the restraining order. So if you're in that situation, you have the right to hurt him. And I was told that a ball peen hammer is not considered a weapon, so you can have it in your purse. So I was like, okay, let me go and do this. So that's when I went and got the restraining order, not because I was truly feeling like I can't take it, but because to protect me in case it got to that point. Right. See, that's what I'm saying. So, and those restraining orders don't do shit. So you need to be prepared. So for a long time, I walked around prepared to fight this man. I used to walk watching myself, you know, looking behind me, making sure that I did all of that. And even after that, he still on occasion would send me messages, text messages. I never responded. And he would go and escalate on these text messages. And I ain't responded to shit you said. And he would escalate. So luckily this started in 2013. I want to say the last time he texted my phone was the end of 2017. So it's been almost 2 years that I think that I haven't heard from him. And I'm figuring, and sadly, what I think is that he's probably found somebody that he's able to abuse, so he's been pacified. And sadly, that's what I think has happened. And I pray for whomever is with him, and I hope she's okay, because I know this motherfucker crazy. So we had a whole little conversation about that. You never know where these lives are gonna go. Anyway, we've hit over 2 hours, so it's time for us to get off. I'm gonna take a little chill for a minute. Exactly. And I'm gonna be honest. Is if a woman hears this now and you are going through this, go get you an order of protection. Not just to put it out there, but to protect yourself if you have to fight back, because it gives you the ability to fight back. Right. Hey, Melissa. So it gives you the ability to fight back. But see, there's this point where when it's right there, you got to be really protective of yourself. You got to be like, I am not going to be in this position. You know, you have to. And let me say, he was not the first who stalked me. He was the second. The first one was kind of mild, and I was able to handle that easier. I didn't have to get an order of protection or anything like that. And let me tell you this, and this is just real. The only thing that saved this man, honestly, was because he had a daughter in his house. Because what I was going to do was let my brother know what was happening, and that would have shut all that shit down. But I didn't want my brother to do so, call on some of his people and his daughter to come into something that she didn't need to see. Right. So she didn't, but I will say this, Sarah. When these men, hi Ginger, you need me to talk to, let me know. When these men make those statements like, I'll kill you, believe it. And then what you need to do as a woman is to move in silence and get away. And if that means moving the hell away from your surroundings, do that, because your life is more important than the things you own. I swear to God, I will walk away from everything I have if it's my safety. So if you have to walk away with just the clothes on your back and a backpack and get you, and if you have children away from it, do what you have to do, because you need to believe these men when they say they will kill you, because they will. It's such a world we live in where, they've been doing it, but it's just more prevalent, So you have to be ready and you have to move. You can't act like you could have your life for a while. Let me tell you something. When I was dealing with that, I was very aware of my surroundings, and I wasn't doing anything that I felt like he could come and find me by myself. And that's what you have to understand. See, let me be real. So you cannot do things like go to the club. And it's sad, but it's the truth. You cannot go to the club. You cannot, right, exactly. And that's what you have to do. You have to move away from that situation. You have to be willing to take the protection that people are going to give you. Like, for instance, I know a woman, a friend of a friend's sister, who was in an abusive relationship, and this man beat her almost to death. Beat her almost to death in front of her kids. Like, right, exactly. So beat, and wound up that so she was in a coma, everything. He ran away. Right. No, Ginger's never, until she decides that enough is enough. It's going to continue to go on. And sadly, a lot of times these women do not understand that this could be your life when enough is enough. They really don't understand that. And so he was like, so this guy, her husband, beat her within an inch of her life, and then he ran away. So while she was in a coma, of course, the state's looking for his ass, because the kids told Daddy did this to her. They were like 4 or 5 when this happened. Daddy did this to Mommy. So he got away, and she's getting healthy and stuff. They found him in another state, and he tried to battle it out with them, and they wound up killing him. And she was so upset. and she was couldn't, and she was, and so the thing with that is, thank God, and I'm not saying this from like a horrible way, but thank God for her that this kind of did happen, because she would still be attached to him. Because how do you look at, how are you upset that something happened to this person who tried to take your life? And that's the kind of mentality that you have to understand, that by the time it gets to that sometimes that's how these people feel. They are still so entrenched. They are still so to these people. Because now me, and so that's why I said I needed to see how that felt. Because if you put your hands on me, I can promise you, because that has happened, I will fight your ass like I'm a man, and I'm going to keep fighting you, and you're going to think that you done let the Hellcat out. You done let the Hellcats, you done let the cats of hell out, because I'm going to fight your ass like this is my last stand on earth, and I will. But many women, but you have to understand, they are so broken by them. And here's the thing that a man will do, just an abuser will do. And it is so very true. They take away your confidence in yourself. So if you've already, so it's important for us as parents to make sure, oh, of course you would, but they go, okay, listen, I was fighting back and he was still coming for me. Because you have to understand, with an abuser, that now you're the challenge. Oh, this bitch ain't broke yet. Oh, I'm gonna break this bitch. That's the challenge for them. That was the challenge he was having with me, was because I wasn't breaking. So it was driving him insane that how is this heifer not doing, how come she still hasn't broken to what I'm doing? Because they've been doing this before. You ain't the first. They've been abusing women. So how dare you not fall into it? How dare you fight back? Oh, I'm going to keep fighting I'm going to keep beating your ass. And so they are, because now you're the challenge. Because I was his challenge. I kept telling him, you need to find somebody who's going to go for this shit. And it was like he wanted to break me. And I kept telling him, you are not going to break me. Oh, you're not going to break me. But right. Right. So, that's the way it is. Hey, Carlos. So it's like, it is about breaking your spirit. It is about breaking you physically. It's about all of those things. So if you know of someone who is being abused, understand that abuse started way before you even saw it. The abuse started way before you saw it. Now you're just seeing the physical manifestations of it, and whether it's that they have backed away from everybody in their life and all that stuff, all that shit was already started before you even saw it. So the thing we need to do for our young women is give them a sense of self from the giddy up. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Give them a sense of self from the giddy up. Give them a confidence. Give them the feeling that they are strong and they are capable and they are beautiful. And let me tell you something that's important that we tell our young ladies. They are smart. Carlos, I'm going to need you to get rid of him. I'm done. I'm gonna need you all to tell your young girls that not only are they smart and strong, but tell them they're beautiful. It is very important that we know that we are beautiful because that is where most of them get us. They make us feel like we already have these issues of body image, of our beauty and things. And so when somebody makes us feel like you're lucky to have me, you're lucky to have me in your life, then we fall into that trap. you know, because we already question ourselves as women. We already question ourselves on, are we good enough? Are we pretty enough? Are we smart enough? And so when they find that point of weakness, which is usually our looks, it's easy to break us because, you know, you're doing good to have me. Don't nobody want your ass. Look at you. And so it's important that we give our young ladies a healthy self-esteem and a for real one. You know, when my kids were young, and this is what Gigi's baby gonna have too. Every night it was like, look, you know, before, after they took their baths, I wrapped up my kids and be like, look at that handsome black prince, look at that beautiful black princess, you know. Oh, of course it did, Bella. And that's the whole point. He wanted to break you, and so he had to keep going and keep going. And the thing is, I'm glad you got away, because it was going to escalate to a point where he was going to put you down as if he could, because you were not backing down. And that's just the way it is. All right, ladies. Ooh, shit, it's 10 o'clock. All right, ladies, let's go. We went over 2 hours, but this was a good conversation. Right. Oh, exactly. Exactly. That's the biggest thing. And so we need to, you know, if reinforce this in our young ladies, that you are beautiful, you are confident, you are strong, and you don't need any man to make you feel that way. You got to feel that way in your heart. And let me say this, if he had got me when I was in my early 20s, if I had met that guy in my early 20s, I would have been abused, because at that time I thought I was not that cute. I thought I was, you know, I thought I was like kind of ugly. I really did. I thought I was not attractive. I had body image issues and things like that, and he could have broke me on that. But at 40 something, fuck you, motherfucker. I know who I am. And so there's the difference. And so if it happens when they're young, it's so hard to break that cycle because it's there. You know, and right. Exactly. So when we see, because like when I see these young girls in the high schools letting these boys hit on them, I need to get a hold of them. And it's so hard because they don't hear it. And I worry about our young girls because there's so much abuse in the high schools. You cannot imagine how often these young boys are hitting these girls. So if you have a young daughter, watch the signs, because the shit happens in high school, junior high, 8th grade, and these young men are abusing these girls. So I'm just letting you know. If you got a young one, start looking at that shit, because it's happening right now, and you have got to reinforce and strengthen your girl. We got to reinforce and strengthen our girls like that. We do. All right, y'all. Yeah, they see it at home. All right, y'all. See y'all later. I know this got really deep and heavy at the end, but you know how shit happens on this channel. So y'all have a great day. I guess I should timestamp this sort of. Maybe we should put the timestamp in reference to how this conversation went into this, because I think, you know, it goes so long that some people don't make it. So how about this? Oh, girls do hit too. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. And we got to stop that too. How about this? There is an ant on my shit. What are you doing on there? Hello. Okay, so I got to get the ant traps out again, because what are you doing over here? Could you all do me a big favor? The ones who are in here right now, could you all put a comment after I end this one, and tell people, please watch the end. We had a really good conversation about abusive relationships, because so many people will watch to the end, and I think some of them might need to hear this. So before I can figure out the timestamp, because this just went where it went, if you all could say, please listen to this part, try to come to the end to hear about, you know, the conversation we had, because I think some people do need to hear this, you know. So if y'all can help me out with that, I would really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like on your way out. Would appreciate that. Or just leave comments. Comments are always good. You ain't got to put me on your likes. You can just comment. And I would appreciate if you did that for me. So, and I'll try to timestamp it. Ooh, some shit got in my eye. So I can put down the things that kind of, the end of the conversation. All right, and then start the new makeup releases. I'm gonna try to timestamp a little better. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great morning. I'm gonna take a little nap. I'm gonna get some work done today. Got a whole good plan for today. Wash some makeup brushes. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day. It was wonderful talking to you all. Hope it wasn't too heavy at the end. Hope you all had, we had a good dialogue. Love y'all.